Ah, you're back. Tell me the Sylph-Elder as well. Thank the gods for that. I don't rightly know what to make of the rest of your tale, but I'm full glad Frio didn't come to any harm. Ah, but there I go tempting fate. Run over to Little Solace and secure us peace with the Sylphs before aught else befalls us, eh? Rest assured, I'll send word to our friends of Charline and the twin Atterboth. You've done Gridania a great service this day, lass, and earned yourself a place of honor here at the Druthers in so doing. Be sure and come by whenever you feel like a drop of Quikern firewater. Say, friend, there's something I'd like to ask you to see delivered to the Sylphs of Little Solace. This is Imo Rose Oil. It's a gift to celebrate the safe return of their tribe's elder, and a token of Gridania's desire to unite. The wood is not what it once was. The calamity changed the elementals, weakened them. Until their strength is returned, we must lend them ours to keep the wood safe. But ours alone will not be enough. We must have the strength of the Sylphs, as well. Only by working together and fighting together will we survive together, and the 12 wood with us. The gift I ask you to bear is a symbol of the hope that both Gridania and Sylph alike will live to see the light beyond this darkness. A gift from Walking One Buscarin? A gift for these ones? Such a lovely scent. This one has never smelled anything like this before. Walking One Buscarin and Adventuring One are very kind. Know that this one is deeply grateful. Many walking ones are scary. Many walking ones utter many lies and much deception. But this one is moved. Let all these ones be friends forever. This one has been expecting walking one. This one fetches elder one. This one is pleased to see walking one again. Welcome to the home of these ones. Ah, there you are, Natiri. We have just been hearing tell of your deeds of daring do. Well done. Ah, the walking ones who aided Noraxia. This one is grateful. A pleasure to have been of service. If you do not mind my asking, how did your misadventure come about? This one does not mind. The misadventures, as Walking One calls them, of this one began when Imperial Ones entered the wood. Fearing trouble, these ones decided to watch Imperial Ones closely. But these ones watched too closely, and Imperial Ones noticed and tried to catch these ones. Having nowhere else to hide, this one fled into Toto Rock. Would that this one had not. In Toto Rock, a sinister one robed in black tried to feed this one to a many-legged one.
A sinister one robed in black. Why do I have the feeling I should be more worried about that than I am?
Elder Frio, we come to you as emissaries of the nation of Gridania. This missive bears the words of the Elder Seedseer. This one sees. So walking ones of Gridania are fearful of Lord Ramo. Plainly put, yes. Your people summoned the Lord of Levin but once, yet that single occurrence occasioned great alarm.
But it's not as if the Gridanians dislike you or anything. Actually, it's just the opposite. They think of you as friends, and they don't want anything to get in the way of that. That's why the Elder Seedseer wrote to you.
This one well knows and respects Horned One Khan Senna. Be assured, like walking ones of Gridania, these ones have no desire for conflict. These ones resorted to summoning Lord Ramu to protect the wood from Imperial ones. This one counseled against doing so, but was not heeded. Against this one's wishes, Lord Ramu was summoned, and all those ones who took part became touched ones. These ones want so desperately to turn touched ones back to normal ones, but did not know how, and still do not know. Touched ones, meanwhile, wanted to turn these ones into touched ones, and did know how. So this one fled to Little Solace with all those ones who did not wish to be bound to Lord Ramu. But walking ones of Gridania need not fear touched ones or Lord Ramu. Unlike other primal ones, Lord Ramu is not callous and cruel. So long as walking ones do not trespass on these ones' ancestral homeland, where touched ones reside, walking ones will not suffer thunderous judgment. But this one has spoken enough of touched ones. This one would speak instead of these ones. As this one said, these ones desire peace with walking ones of Gridania. And so these ones ask for a chance to set things right. By way of an addendum, mortals who are tempered come to take on the qualities embodied by the primal in question. In the case of the sylphs, Ramu's influence has made them fiercely protective of their homeland.
That explains why they're so hostile towards trespassers. But what about the abductions?
A fine question, Ida. The abductions are, I believe, an expression of the tempered sylph's desire for reconciliation, another quality traditionally associated with Ramu. In the crudest manner imaginable, they seek to bring their fellows back into the fold. A timely reminder that the challenges posed by each primal are unique. Elder Frio, we thank you for making your will known to us. The people of Gridania will rest easier in the knowledge that they and the sylphs are united in their desire for peace. Wishing to cooperate, this one has written down the feelings of these ones. Please see that these feelings are conveyed to Horned One Connie Senna. And with that, I believe we can lay the matter of Ramu to rest.
That sylph elder's very reasonable, I must say. You could learn a lot from him.
Was that a jibe? If so, I feel it only fair to observe that one of us wouldn't recognize reason if it punched her on the nose. Did I say fair? I meant reasonable.
Anyway, we're going to head back to the Waking Sands and tell Nymphilia all about it.
Fear not, we will be sure to mention the instrumental part you played in all of this. And while we see to that, we should appreciate it if you would deliver Frio's missive to the Adder's Nest. Elder Frio, we humbly thank you for your time. It has been an honor. The honor is this one's. Together, let the walking ones of Gridania and these ones find a way to live in peace. Please wait, walking one Natiri. This one has yet to give walking one a token of this one's appreciation. When these ones summoned Lord Ramu, these ones were gifted this crystal. This one would now bestow the crystal upon walking one as a symbol of these one's trust. This one was not mistaken about walking one. Walking one is destined to walk a fate far crueler than this one can imagine. A brilliant light from within walking one enveloped the crystal, this one saw. Mark this one well, that crystal will one day be of use to walking one. Walking one must keep that crystal safe at all times. Before walking one returns to Gridania, this one would ask walking one to watch touched ones. So long as touched ones are not troubled, touched ones will not make trouble. If walking one witnesses touched ones making no trouble, mayhap walking one can testify to walking ones of Gridania that these ones mean no harm. These ones' homeland is fraught with danger. This one marks down safe places to look out for touched ones. There are tempered sylphs in the distance. You do not sense that they pose a danger if left alone. Ah, Captain Virus. How went the meeting with the sylphs? A missive from the Sylph Elder himself? If I may. So the sylphs have no desire for conflict, nor do they intend to summon Ramu. And so long as we leave the tempered ones be, we need not fear any aggression on their part. The Elder Seedseer will be overjoyed to hear that the sylphs have welcomed our overtures. And in the knowledge that they bear us no ill will, we may channel our resources towards tackling the more conspicuous threats to our security. You have done our nation a great service, Captain Virus. It will not be forgotten. The Sylphic folk have long been friends to Gridania. The mere thought of being at war with them pained the Elder Seedseer to no end. But owing to your efforts, she will be able to rest easier. Being the benevolent soul that she is, my lady will surely try to find a way to reverse the tempering process. Once again, I thank you. Had the scions of the Seventh Dawn not offered to mediate between our peoples, suspicion and doubt may well have led us into needless conflict. Pray pass on my regards to Lady Minfilia.
Hello. Hello, Naturi. Can you hear me? It is I, Minfilia. Ida and Paperlimo returned some little while ago, and they wasted no time in regaling me with the tale of your exploits. Thanks in large part to you, the name of one primal may be struck from our list of enemies, and the Gridanians may turn their attention to more pressing matters. Well done. Yet the end of one tale is but the start of another. Pray return to the waking sands at your earliest convenience. I would apprise you of the present situation in person. Well, if it isn't my favorite adventurer. Welcome back, Naturi. Lady Minfilia awaits you within the solar. Please enter at your leisure.
I am given to understand that the matter of Ramu has finally been resolved.
I fear resolved bespeaks a permanence we cannot rightly claim. Yet I am well satisfied that the Lord of Leven will not trouble us in the foreseeable future.
Your satisfaction is assurance enough for me.
How fares the investigation?
Well enough. Thancred is sparing no effort. They are many in one, just as you suspected. Their purpose, however, eludes us still.
I see. I have been meaning to ask, but is Alisea quite well? I feel as if I have scarcely seen her in recent days.
Oh, you haven't, and nor have I, alas. Alisea has chosen to walk her own path, stubborn girl, but you may be assured that our destination remains the same. And on that note, I take my leave of you. I trust the Baldesian report will serve you well.
I take it we can proceed as discussed.
Why do you ask? You scarce need my permission to act.
It is good to see you again, Naturi. I have been looking forward to congratulating you on your triumph in the 12th Wood. Owing to your efforts, conflict has been averted. Truly, you have done the scions proud.
With that, we can strike Ramu from the list.
So who's next? The Sahagin and Leviathan.
The Lord of the World has not answered his minions' call of late, nor is he expected to do so in the near future. While the Sahagin remain as aggressive as ever, they lack the quantity of crystals required to call forth their god. As with the Sylphs, we can leave them to their own devices, for a time, at least.
For a time bears repeating. We can ill afford to fall complacent.
It is as Yushtila says. Unless we know the minds of the beast tribes, we cannot predict with any certainty when next a primal will return to plague the land. This being the case, we must proceed with as much haste as prudence allows.
Any word on Titan? The Maelstrom keeps the kobolds under constant observation. We shall hear from them ere long, you may depend upon it.
Indeed. So, then, of all the known primals that have been active in recent times, we are left with
Gridania. Wait, I meant Garuda, who is the primal of the Ixal who live near Gridania. Yes, that's what I meant. So many mounds to cover. Would that there were a more efficient way to conduct our surveys. Were he still with us, we should not long have wanted for a more practicable solution.
She's not wrong there. Where in the world are you, Chief?
But one sure step at a time. Henceforth, the Order of the Twin Adder will handle all matters pertaining to the sylphs, under the sage guidance of the Seed-Seers. I bid you all enjoy a moment's respite. You have earned it. Is there something else, Naturi? Beg pardon? A man named Lahabria, sporting a red mask and robed in black? 12 Preserve. Prior to the calamity, the Askins took great pains to remain hidden. Why would they choose to cast off their veil of secrecy now? Gods, this bodes ill. We must take advantage of the present lull in primal hostilities and investigate this Lahabria, learn all we can of him and his designs. I direct to tea. Eek. Totoro. A sylph in Fanalan?
At long last, this one finds walking one Natiri. This one is most dependable of these ones. Is sent by Elder One Frio to help walking ones. This one is called Noraxia. This one comes as a friend. Let these ones be friends.
Pleasure to meet you, Noraxia. Yes, Totoro is as ready to express her fright as she is to express everything else. Not all of us are forged of the same steel as you, I'm afraid. But it takes all kinds to make a family, and it pleases me to know and to see ours continue to grow. One by one, the people of Eorzea are beginning to unite, Naturi, drawn to the hope that shines within you. Yet a darkness threatens to engulf this light. Never have I doubted the Askins' presence, but that they have grown so brazen as to carry out their work in plain sight fills me with a sense of deep foreboding. I am afraid there is no rest for the weary, Naturi. We must delve further into the motivations of the masked man, the Ashen known as Lahabria. This is an ideal moment to do so, while our hands are not bound dealing with another primal. At present, we know little and less about the Askins, only that destruction follows in their wake. I should not be surprised if these beings are behind the chaos that racks the realm. If my fears prove to be reality, we must do all in our power to stop them. Earlier, I sent word to each Grand Company to solicit cooperation. The Immortal Flames responded to the effect that they have information on a potential sighting. This is intelligence that we can ill afford to ignore. Go speak with Flame Commander Swift at the Hall of Flames in order to inquire further. How you go about the investigation thereafter, I leave wholly to your discretion. But whatever you do, never forget that we are dealing with the unknown. You cannot take too many precautions. Be safe, Naturi.
The masked man? Ah, you are come on behalf of the science, of course. Yes, as we've already relayed to Lady Minfilia, there has been a sighting of this rogue near about eastern Thanalan. A brass blade stationed at Highbridge described him in detail when he alerted us to suspicious activity. I would point you to the witness, but I'm afraid he died not 2 days ago, slain by a marauding horde of Quikern. Fate can be a cruel mistress. But do not be too quick to despair. Being situated on a trade route, Highbridge sees its fair share of travelers. Folk are always coming and going, and some among them may well have caught a glimpse of your target. You could do worse than to speak with a merchant named Hayabaru. The fellow's always starved for customers, and he'd no doubt welcome your attention, whether or not you have coin or the mind to spend it. Welcome to Highbridge, adventurer. Whatever you seek, I, Hayabaru, can provide it, probably. You're after a masked man? I'm not sure I have one of those in stock. Oh, we're after a masked man. Why didn't you say so sooner? Such an individual might have featured in one of the many rumors I've heard. If you linger a while, mayhap you'll learn a thing or two, eh? When the Order of Milkville began excavating the ruins below, I had hopes that Highbridge would turn into a bustling hub for pilgrims. But thanks to the nigh endless beastman raids, folk are too afraid to come within a mile of here. I sold everything I owned to get my venture started, and I'm loath to give up without making an earnest effort to stick it out. But if things keep going as they are, I'll be bankrupt before the moon is through. Whining won't do me any good, though. No, for my business to survive, I need business. Speaking of which, perhaps you'd like to browse my wares. Spend a bit of coin to help a struggling merchant. The masked man? Bah, I'll take your bloody masked man. I know what I said before, but vague rumors are all I've got. If you want to know about him, go and ask the other merchants. On the trail of a masked man. I've heard of him, but only in hushed tones and faint whispers. It's said he wears a black hooded robe, and looks right suspicious. And that's about all I can say, little though it is. Have I seen a masked man wearing a dark robe? No, I haven't, nor do I wish to. Business is bad enough without shady characters lurking about. Folk had been giving Highbridge a wide berth because of all the Quikern raids. None but the most devout of pilgrims are willing to come here anymore. I've heard tell of the masked devil. Seems he's been appearing not only around Highbridge, but elsewhere about Thanalan, too. Enough folk have reported seeing him to convince me he's more than a figment of the imagination, but little is known about him otherwise. Judging by your expression, I take it you didn't learn much of use. Look, I'm sorry for my rudeness earlier. It's just that things are tough for us merchants at the moment. The Quikern raids are so constant, so organized, we're beginning to suspect that someone is orchestrating it all. I tend to put my own welfare first, like most of us do, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I promise to keep an eye out for your masked man. If I see or hear anything, you'll be the first to know. I've finally got some honest-to-God's information on your masked man. Why so confident? Because I saw him with my own 2 eyes. I was out for an evening stroll, minding my own business, when I noticed a column of smoke rising from a cliff over at Tall's Respite. Curious, I took myself there to find a masked man, your masked man, I'm sure of it, standing by a fire. As if in answer, some Quikern appeared soon after, and the group began talking at length. I'm afraid I was too far out of earshot to hear much of anything. After the group had dispersed, an idea came to me. If you were to use this smoldering coal to start a fire, you might be able to arrange a similar meeting. It will be dangerous, I shouldn't doubt, but you've proven yourself more than a match for a pack of rats. So, what do you think? That's some sound, reliable information, even if I do say so myself. Well worth all the lingering about you've been doing, wouldn't you say? Back so soon? Were you able to find any clues leading to your masked man? This scroll. It bears a prayer to Ralgar, the Destroyer. In case you're unfamiliar, Ralgar is the guardian deity of Almigo, which is currently under Garlean rule. It's highly uncommon for folk of other nations to revere him. I'd wager my last guild that your assailant was Almigo. It seems this masked man of yours is very well connected. I must confess, The merchant in me envies such a diverse network of contacts. That selfsame merchant also senses danger ahead, and darkness besides. Are you certain you'd rather not take things nice and slow here at Highbridge? The Alamahigan bandit you had a run-in with is somehow connected to your masked man of mystery. So, it stands to reason that if you want to pick up the trail again, you should head toward Little Alamago, over in southern Thanalan. Just so you know what to expect, the settlement is the favored destination for those refugees who couldn't, well, adapt to life in Uda. The hearts of the denizens are said to be as barren as the wasteland they live in, and for all intents and purposes, it's a lawless place. Be prepared for a not-so-warm welcome. Now, I'm not certain how much a help she will be, but it just so happens I have a daughter who has relocated to Little Alamago. Her name is Ahira, and it shouldn't hurt to seek her out first. And while you have her attention, I'd be obliged if you could send my love. Not a day goes by that I don't think of her. I suppose this is it, then. I had hoped that you would linger here a while, cull some fiends, spend some coin, what have you, but something tells me you're destined for greater things. Wherever it is you end up, I wish you the best.
Why, yes, Hayabaru's my father. He said what? I wish I could be a better daughter to him. It's just that. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't bother you with family matters. But I am grateful to you for delivering the message. Now then, what brings you here? A masked man? I'm afraid the description doesn't ring any bells, but one of the others here may have seen something. I would recommend you first speak with Gundobald, the leader of the settlement. I must warn you, though, he isn't exactly accommodating to outsiders.
Who are you? State your business, and be quick about it. Looking for a masked villain, you say? And why should we help you, pray? We struggle enough without having to answer the whim of every outsider. You are not welcome here. Be gone. Well met, adventurer. I'm Gizilbert, head of security here at Little Alamago. I heard tell that you had business with Gundobald. Knowing the bristly old bear, I don't doubt he told you to bugger off. Owing to their hardships, the refugees don't trust anyone but themselves. Not even my man, and I can get so much as a word of thanks out of them despite watching the place day and night. But thanks or no, I try to help my fellow man when I can, and you seem a decent sort. If you tell me what's brought you here, might be as I can lend a hand. On the trail of a masked villain, you say? Can't say that sounds familiar, but I have men on lookout for a Maliaa to the south of here. If there's been any suspicious activity, they are like to have seen it. I had a mind to take them each a cup of sweet Thanalan tea so as to lift their spirits. If you were to run this little errand in my stead, they'd be all the more willing to tell you what they know. Who the hells are you? I'm trying to conserve energy here, so leave me alone. Well, ain't ye considerate? My thanks, friend. What's that? A masked villain? Hiding among the refugees, like as not. Me compatriots as live here go about as though they're dead on their feet. 'Tis near impossible to tell what's on their minds. For all I know, they're all up to no good. You there? Are you in a Maliaa? No? Then carry on. Ah, this sophisticated aroma. It has been forever since I had a drop of sweet Thanalan. I'm going to enjoy this. What? A masked man? Don't know, don't care. Unless he's got dark scaly skin, stands 10 fulms tall, and has the face of a lizard, then I don't give a mummer's fart. Shoo, shoo. Don't bother me. If the Maliaa overrun us, I'm blaming you. For me? You shouldn't have. Sorry. A suspicious masked man? As a matter of fact, I caught glimpse of someone fitting that description during patrol. Well, I couldn't quite make out whether it was a man or not, what with the mask and the robe. But assuming it was a he was talking with some Alamhigans. I assumed he was one of them. Ah, you're back. So, did my lookouts have aught to share with you? That doesn't sound like much to go by. If you're to get any further in your investigation, seems to me you'll need the cooperation of the Alamhigans. For this, you'll need to win their trust, and that won't be an easy task. So you're determined to press on with your investigation? Then I have some advice to offer. As I said before, you won't get far without the Alamhigans' trust. And the best way to win that trust is to get a compatriot of theirs, someone they respect, to vouch for you. Coin does the talking in Uda, But the Alamigans are bound by something far stronger, if not as tangible, a common purpose. That purpose is, of course, the liberation of their home from the Garleans. Gundobald belongs to the Alamigan resistance, so your best bet would be someone who's part of the same crew. If you know any well-connected people, you might want to start by asking them.
Welcome back, Natiri. How fares the investigation? I see. Given all that they have suffered, it is of little wonder the Alamhigan refugees have lost faith in their fellow man. They have had their homeland taken from them, and for the past 2 decades have had to see it remain in the enemy's clutches. To compound matters, none of the 3 city-states have the means to take in all those who were displaced. As a result, a great many Alamhigans now live on the margins of society, suffering poverty and discrimination. Would that more could be done to ease their hardships? I fear that nothing short of reclaiming their homeland would be a lasting solution. But let us deal with one problem at a time. Returning to the matter of your investigation, it just so happens there is an Alamhigan native among the Scions. I should be pleased to introduce him to you. Your Alamhigan comrade is named Harabir. He joined our cause in the hopes that he might find a way to liberate his homeland. While he spares no effort towards that endeavor, I have no doubt that he would be glad to assist you. If I recall correctly, Harabir is currently between missions. Try looking for him in the storage area.
If it isn't Natiri Virus, the Science Rising Star, is there aught I can do for you? You wish to win the trust of the people of Little Alamigo. That is a daunting task, my friend, even for our own countrymen. I would like nothing more than to help, but I'm afraid my name no longer carries weight with that lot. I used to be a member of the Alamhigan resistance, you see, but I left in favor of joining the Scions. Though my allegiance may have shifted, my purpose remains ever the same, the liberation of Alamigo. Yet whatever my reasons were, I abandoned my comrades, and they'll have nothing to do with me. Now, while I may have no more friends in the resistance, I know someone who does. Her name is Albreda, and she is a resident of Quarry Mill. Say my name when you meet her, and she won't lead you astray.
Eh? You want me to introduce you to the resistance? Huh? Why the hell should I do that? Give me just one reason. Harabir sent you? Go, that worthless Horson. He abandons his comrades, his woman, and now he has the gall to ask me for a favor? Simply incredible. I realize Harabir was only doing what he felt was right. He's a good man, and if he trusts you, then that's all I need to know. You see that bloke there? That's Mefrit, a captain of the resistance. I hope he can give you what you need.
I'm Mefrid, a proud man of the Alamigan resistance. What business do you have with me, adventurer?
Captain, it's Galleon, sir. His wound's gone infested, and he's burning up. I don't think he's got much time.
Godsend. I asked the villagers for aid, got on my knees and begged, but they refused to lift a finger. If Galleon dies, his blood is on their hands. These Quarry Mill cravens would turn a blind eye to our plight, but they might listen to Albreda. I fear my anger will prevent me from rightly convincing anyone at the moment. I realize we scarce know each other, but this is a matter of life and death. Please, adventurer, go to her and try.
One of Mefrid's in bad shape, you say? I'm sorry, but there's naught I can do. I want to help, truly I do. They're my countrymen, after all, but that'd mean going against the elemental's will. I've been at Quarry Mill long enough to know how right terrible the beings can be. I couldn't forgive myself if everyone gets banished because of me. If there's anyone who can help you, it'd be Charlene, the hamlet's resident hero. If you take the matter to her, might be as she'll listen, though I wouldn't get my hopes up. You wish to aid the Alamhigans? You are possessed of a kind heart, adventurer, but I'm afraid I have not the authority to grant you your wish. This authority belongs only to the elementals, eternal guardians of the 12th Wood. All outsiders, be they babes at the breast or men grown, are judged overnight whether they may have a place beneath the boughs. Alas, the Higgins petition has been denied. Harsh though it may seem, they do not have leave to receive of the wood's bounty. Ever has it been since time immemorial, and ever shall it be.
That's how it's to be, then. The bloody hero might as well kill Valiant herself. Spit on the elementals and spit on their bloody will. I cannot wait until the resistance is free of this place. I led my men to Quarry Mill hoping to find refuge. Instead we found indifference. The cold-blooded bastards here want us out, and I can't oblige them soon enough. The problem is, some of mine aren't fit to travel. Hells, Galleon can't even stand. As you well know, the people of this accursed hamlet won't help us. So, I've no choice but to turn to you, adventurer. In my homeland, long antelope horn is a traditional remedy with poison purging properties. If you could bring me, say, 4 horns, I'd forever be in your debt. Ah, you're back. Tell me you've got 4 horns with you. You're a godsend, adventurer. Praise Rugger, there's at least one woman in this place who gives a damn. Now we just need to find a way to prepare them. You wouldn't happen to know a man named Guskarin, would you? Some comrades of mine told me about him once. They said he never turns away folk in need, no matter where they're from. Seeing as he runs a tavern, he's like to have the tools to make the medicine. I'd be grateful if you could take the horns over to him to have them ground down. When that's done, bring the powder back, and give it to Farman here. Godspeed. Ah, Natiri, ever a sight for sore eyes. How fares the adventuring? Rolling in the coin like there's no tomorrow, no doubt. You've got something to show me? Well, these look like good old antelope horns. Need them ground down to make a medicine, you say? Here's a better idea. I'll give you some of the stuff I have in my stores. I'm no stranger to the remedy. An Higgin friend once used it to treat my festering wound, years and years ago. Safe to say he saved my life. What's that? This is for an Higgin soldier in Quarry Mill? Hey, so it comes full circle. Well, I hope it helps the poor sod as needs it. Oh, and don't worry your little head off about payment. I still owe you a deal more than you owe me, I reckon. It is well to see you return. Have you the medicine for our brother? Gods bless you, adventurer. I'll see that Galleon receives treatment at once. Hopefully, this will allow the captain to rest easier. It has been a terrible burden on him trying to keep every man alive. You've done us a great kindness, friend. Adventurer. Galleon has gone missing. He's nowhere to be found. He shouldn't be walking about, not with those wounds. If he doesn't get the proper medicine and rest, his condition's like to deteriorate to where it was before, or worse. We need you to help us find him, and quickly. Start by asking Albreda, might be as the woman's seen something.
Ah, finally. It's about time you came asking about Galleon. I watched him leave Quarry Mill some time ago, and he left me this sealed letter before he went off. Made me swear not to open it until someone came asking. My brothers, I cannot bear to be a burden any longer. That is why I must leave you all. Do not worry for me, just find your way safely to Little Elemental. Blast it! Would that I'd known what he was thinking. I'd have stopped this folly myself. The love Galleon bears for his brothers is so strong, he's willing to sacrifice himself for them. Make no mistake, entering the wood in his weakened state is suicide.
Out in the wilds? Alone? That fool. That great big sentimental fool. My men and I will scour the wood for Galleon. Please help us find him before something terrible happens. Watch out. A goblin. Galleon. Captain? But, why? You should all be on your way. Who do you take us for? We're Higgins, and Higgins never forsake one another. Hardships be damned. Remember the oath we swore, goddamn it, the oath to reclaim our homeland. We'll set foot on Higgins soil again, together, or not at all. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Good. Let us return to our brothers. Oh, and don't even think that you'll get off lightly. As soon as you're healed, I'll give you such a thorough thrashing, you'll wish we didn't find you. I can't thank you enough for saving Galleon. I will see you back at Quarry Mill. Galleon's expected to make a full recovery. We'll linger here till he's strong enough to take to the road again. As much as I mislike this place, beggars can't be choosers. Now that things are relatively settled, I seem to recall that you wanted something of me. You've proven a true friend to my people. Ask of me anything, and it's yours, so long as it's mine to give. The cooperation of the people of Little Alamigo? That's all? Far be it from me to question your desires, of course. Very well, I will provide you with a letter to show to Gundobble. The old bear was my mentor when I first joined the resistance. He's intimidating to those who don't know him, but he takes care of his own. I've no doubt that he will do all in his power to aid you. Why have you returned? You are not welcome here. I thought I made that clear. You spoke with Mefred? It has been so long since I last heard from him, I had feared him dead. 12 be praised. Whoever you are, Mefred sees you as a friend, and any friend of Mefred is a friend of mine. I know of this masked stranger you see, and will tell you what I can. An outsider resembling your masked stranger has reportedly been appearing near Little Alamigo of late. What's more, it seems that some of our young bloods are meeting him in secret. No doubt you'll want to question them about their trysts, but they are not like to yield the information readily to an outsider. If you tell them I sent you, though, they may well feel obliged to talk.
Gundobald sent you? Listen, I told them it was a bad idea. All that tripe about believing the masked man and... Oh, you don't know anything about this? Why didn't you say so to start with? You can't throw the old bear's name around like that and expect me to not think I'm in for it.
A masked man? No idea what you're talking about. I ain't done nothing wrong, so leave me be. What? Have I been meeting any masked men lately? Let's see. Nope, can't say I have. But I'll be sure to tell all my friends you're looking for him. There's a bunch been skulking about right suspicious, but I've got nothing to do with them. I know trouble when I see it, and that there's trouble, mark me words. So, you have indeed confirmed my suspicions about a masked man. That is most troubling. Whenever the young ones are scheming, it can lead to no good end. There's an anger inside them, I can see it in their eyes. I ought to know, for it once burned within me as well. 2 decades ago, that same anger drove me and my brothers to rise against the despot who ruled Alamigo. Naught would do but to depose him and usher in a revolution. Well, we got our revolution all right, but it cost us our freedom. Blinded by our hate, we didn't realize that we had been dancing to the Empire's tune. By the time we did, it was too late. Alamigo had fallen. There are times when a man must be patient. Now is such a time, though the young ones know this not. Unless we intervene, they are like to commit great folly. If you learn aught of their plans, I would thank you to bring word to me. Hey, adventurer. You done talking with the old bear? I've got a message for you from Willard. Lad's something of a leader among the young ones here. He's impressed that you've won over Gundobald, and wants a word with you. Says he'll be waiting over at the craggy area north of here. Thanks for coming, friend. 'Tis no ordinary outsider who can gain the trust of the old bear. That's why I wanted to meet you, to discuss something in private. Tell me, why are you snooping about? Did the Empire send you? Or someone else? Kooro got your tongue? Humph, no matter. Whoever it is you work for, your meddling ends here. Get her. You're stronger than you look. This changes nothing. Threaten us, beat us bloody all you like, but nothing short of death can make us give up our fight. We're going to obtain the power to bring down the Empire, and with it we'll reclaim our homeland. Attacked by Willard and his cronies? That they would go to such lengths for the sake of this plan of theirs. Left to their own devices, the young fools are like to harm others, if not themselves. We must uncover their agenda and put an end to this madness. Willard mentioned obtaining the power to bring down the Empire. Of what power could he be speaking?
Gundobald.
Bertliana? God's preserve. What happened?
I was out foraging when the corpse brigade came. They took me to their hideout, and the whole while, they laughed at me. They said that I suffer, because I cling on to hope. Is it wrong to dream of home? Is it wrong to call ourselves Alum Higgins?
Do not heed such poisonous notions, child. Our dreams are what sustain us. Be strong, I swear to you, those villains will answer for their crimes in due time. But tell me, does anyone else know of this?
Willed. He saw me outside. He was so angry.
I must tend to Berliana. In the meantime, I need you to find out what the young ones make of this. I fear that they may do something rash.
What those animals did to Bertliana is unforgivable. And to think they looked down on us. Well, I'll suffer this humiliation no more. I'm with Will to the bitter end. I'm not afraid of a few lizards.
If this plan succeeds, we'll have the power to lay the Empire low. To change the world for the better. Might be as Gundobald's content to eke out an existence in this musty old cave, but I'll be damned if I'm going to spend the rest of my life here. Now, where in the seven hells did I put that bloody map? O mighty Rauger, Lord of Destruction, we implore you, lend us your strength and put an end to the suffering of your people. Humph, here to interfere again? Well, you're too late. Our plan is already in motion. Once we have the crystals, our enemies will pay for their crimes, and no one will dare oppress us ever again. Gone? The whole lot of them? Then it is as I feared. They mean to take matters into their own hands. But what exactly is it that they mean to do? What's this? A hunting knife, and a map of Zanric? Wait, you said Willard spoke of crystals, did you not? But they couldn't possibly mean to, by the gods, this is rank madness. The young fools are untrained and unblooded, all. They have no notion of how dangerous the Amalja are. They'll be butchered before they get within 100 yams of the crystals. They are headed east. If we hurry, we may yet find them before it's too late. Willard, did no others survive? This is all wrong. Getting the crystals was supposed to be the start. We were going to reclaim our homeland. We. Pull yourself together, lad. We were going to make an offering of crystals to Rauger, to summon him, just like the masked man taught us. We plotted to sneak into Zanric and make off with the lizardman's cash, but they caught us and, so many dead. Gods forgive me.
Heathens, you shall pay for your crimes with your souls.
I regret our young ones' transgressions, but a soul is too high a price for youthful folly. For all their failings, they are the hope of the Alumhigan people. This hope I will guard with my life. Forgive us. We only want it. The excuses will keep. The whelps must pay for their crimes. I will not let you harm them. Adventure, stay close to Will. Come, ye blessed of our Lord's breath. We almost have it. Your skill at arms is impressive, adventurer. Our wayward youths could learn much from a woman like you. The battle is won, but it would be unwise to linger here. Let us return to Little Alamigo. Wait. We've come all this way, we have to get the crystals. They're right there, ripe for the picking. Have you learned nothing, Willard? Did you not see those tempered wretches? Such is the fate of those who are touched by a god. Is that what you desire for yourself and your friends? What? No one said anything about. The masked man told us we could defeat the Empire if we summoned Rauger. He swore. Enough. I will hear the rest of this sorry tale back in Little Alamigo. I dare say Natiri will wish to hear it as well. No more lies, Willard. Tell us everything. I was outside with the others when he appeared, the masked stranger. He told us about summoning Relgar, about using crystals, and then just vanished. We never saw him again. I wanted so desperately to believe that we could raise ourselves from this squalor that I never stopped to question his motives. But I should have known, there's no solution, nothing we can do to change our lot. Our people are doomed to live and die like beasts. Listen to me, Willard. Our home may be lost to us, but it takes more than stones and mortar to define who we are. No matter where we may be, Alamhigo lives on within us all. It is for you to decide what to make of this legacy. But whatever you choose to do with your life, never forget that you owe it to this adventurer, an outsider. I won't. I promise. Thank you for saving me. And sorry I tried to kill you. My thanks as well, friend. It gives us hope to know that there are kind souls such as you out there. Little Alamhigo may not have much in the way of comfort, but you will always be welcome here. With that we had more information to offer, but what Willard told you is the extent of our knowledge of the masked stranger. Left unchecked, that man will bring about great pain and suffering. I pray that you'll find and put a swift end to the creature, for the sake of the young ones who died by his poisoned words.
Welcome back, Natiri. I'm reliably informed the investigation took you to Quarry Mill and Little Alamhigo. So tell me, were you able to learn aught of La Habrea? Planted the knowledge of summoning in impressionable young minds, you say? Precisely the kind of deception the Ascians would employ. While many of the ills that ail the land can be attributed to the calamity, some are being brought about by a malign will. We must needs delve deeper into this, while things remain quiet on the primal front. All work in no plane makes Minfilia a dull scion. Did you say something? Nothing, my lady. Ahem. Mayhap we ought to rest a while before speaking further of the investigation. While you were tending to business in Thanalan, some new information arrived courtesy of our friends the Sylphs. An individual fitting La Habrea's description has been sighted in the North Shroud. This sighting comes in the wake of a series of mysterious deaths in the South Seine area. My instincts tell me that our man is involved. I would have you continue your investigation where you left off. 12 willing, we will pick up La Habrea's trail once more. Noraxia can furnish you with the details. Pray speak with her, and take it from there. As always, be careful out there, Natiri.
Walking One is to investigate Sinister One? Then heed well this one's words. This one is friends with a Walking One in the Ashcrown Consortium. According to Friendly One, a Digging One named Medrad had an encounter with a scary Masked One. This Masked One is most certainly Sinister One. Walking One should go and speak with Digging One Medrad. Digging One is to be found at Fallgord Float in the North Shroud. Please leave me be. I'm not long for this world. I look death in the face. 'Tis only a matter of time before he comes for me, just like he came for that poor woman. Medrad is clearly traumatized. Perhaps if you were to suit him, he might remain calm for long enough to hold a conversation. Why, you're right. It's not as bad as it seems. I saw something terrible, that's true, but that hardly means I'm going to suffer the same fate. Thanks to you, I can think straight again. I believe I can even recount what I saw without losing it. It was just another ordinary day. I was headed back to the float when I noticed a suspicious character in the distance, a masked man garbed head to toe in black. He had a hideous fiend in tow, a winged creature that was all eyeball and jagged teeth. Taken by curiosity, I crept as near as I dared. To see the corpse of a woman. One glimpse was enough to tell me that she died a gruesome death. In that instant, I knew right away that the masked man was a minion of Tal, come to claim her soul for his realm. What? You're investigating this same masked man?
If that's the case, we'll help you in whatever way we can.
Anything to ensure that we won't have to suffer Medrod's hysteria ever again. Alright, teamwork. That's what I wanted too. Wait, I haven't been that bad, have I? At any rate, I'm all for helping this adventurer. It's the least I can do to repay her for comforting me.
So, here's what I know about the deaths. All the victims were found with their faces torn to shreds. Among the local fauna, only the skeleton known as this could inflict such wounds. That's why some folk are pointing the finger at them. I somehow doubt that the answer's that simple, but for the sake of thoroughness, we should look into it. Why don't you put down, say, 3 of the creatures, and see if you can find any proof connecting them to the deaths? You've already seen to the Ziz? Good work, adventurer. So, were you able to find aught to suggest that the creatures are our culprits? Nothing. Truth be told, even if there were proof, I wouldn't know what it looked like. Anyway, I believe we can safely strike Ziz from our list of suspects. Which leaves us with the masked man and his winged eyeball. There's something else I heard about the deaths. It appears all the victims have been comely maidens. I'd better watch myself, eh? Here. Unseemly japes aside, there's a rumour been going around. There's some as whisper that, after each victim died, her rancor went into the great big rock southwest of here, causing it to flash and moan. This bears investigating, I reckon. I'm going to give you a fire sand stick to blow off a piece of that crag. The stick doesn't come with a fuse or anything, so you'll have to throw the thing. Once you've torn the rock a new one, bring back some of the fragments, and I'll give him a gander. Most folk are too scared to go within 100 yards of the Rock of Rancor. It has a name. But what's a few vengeful spirits to a dauntless adventurer like you, eh? Why, these are just your garden variety crystals. 'Tis a bit hard to tell beneath all the dirt and grime, but they're definitely lightning aspected. I almost hate to say it, but that explains the flashing and moaning. Nothing to do with the masked stranger. Looks like I've gone and wasted both your time and a perfectly good fire sand stick. Oh, well.
There is something you should know. I have been keeping this to myself, lest I worsen Medrod's paranoia, but I, too, have seen the winged eyeball. I cannot say whether it was coincidence, but my sighting took place precisely the same time as Medrod's. I was heading home after a day of digging when a shadow fell over me. Looking up, I found myself locked in a gaze with a giant eyeball. I let out a scream at the top of my lungs and ran without once looking back. This happened at the rocky area west of here, in case you had a mind to investigate. A monstrous Banamite appeared, and you slew it? That creature had long been a scourge upon the folk of Fallgord. Intentional or no, you have done us a great service. You have my gratitude. But this does make me wonder, was it truly a winged eyeball I saw? Or merely a trick of light combined with blind panic?